If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my God above for living here today. The flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Hey, it's Allison Salinas with Citizen Watch Your Voice Matters. So I was asked to do a special emergency broadcast. Of course, I can oblige because it's for a very good reason. So we're going to get into that in a minute, guys. So stay tuned, hit share, hit like. You know the drill. We want as many people on here as possible, especially from Antioch, Illinois. Now, we are here to talk about Antioch, Illinois, and their deceitfulness with their small business owners, guys. How hard is it when Pritzker screwed all of us, all of the small businesses, made it impossible to survive? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of small businesses did not make it through the whole COVID thing. Okay, so not bashing COVID. There's people that have had COVID, respectfully so. My kids had it, so I get it, I know. But it hurt the communities. So for Antioch, Illinois, to do what they're doing, and I believe this happened today, but I'm going to make sure and double check with somebody. I've got two guests. I do have them on the bottom streamer. If you can watch, Charles Erickson from Freedom 515. He's also my PR guy for my 2026 run against Dick Durbin. He's a great guy. Everybody loves him. Devin Moore, Callie Brown, which she's at work. She'll hop on in a minute. But Devin Moore, who has the Gut Truck food truck in Antioch, Illinois, is ready to talk. You know my show, you know how it goes. I don't censor. I don't cut people off. I let them say what they need to say. So with that, I'm going to bring on these guys. We're going to talk and we're going to have a chat and find out what's going on in Antioch. Hi, guys. You can unmute. How are you?
I'm good.
Hi. So I'm going to introduce everybody. You sound so thrilled, Chuck. Come on now. So we'll start with Chuck. He's going to reintroduce himself just for the viewers that do not know, and then we'll move up to Mr. Devin. Go ahead, Chuck.
Charles Erickson, a.k.a. Chuck, either one, neither or. I represent Freedom 515 Illinois, and Freedom 515 is a grassroots organization.
Awesome. Devin, hi. Thank you for being on my show. And we talked briefly a little bit beforehand. Why don't you introduce yourself and just tell us what you do for a living and where you live? And we'll get into the story in a minute, but just give yourself an introduction.
My name is Devin. I run the Gut Truck with my wife and my son. I cook food. I cook good food. Great flavor. I love what I do.
Awesome. And where are you located?
In Antioch, Illinois.
Okay. So Chuck was the one that asked me to do this. So I happily agreed. So we're going to talk about Antioch, Illinois. Again, we talked about small businesses. So Chuck, what's going on in Antioch?
Devin had reached out a few days prior, told me he was having a situation with the city of Antioch. He'll be able to explain a little more, but the gist of it is that Antioch wants to play favoritism towards certain businesses and shut other small businesses down. Devin, if you want, go ahead and take it away.
So, I cook at the VFW. So as a food truck, you have to get a commissary or brick and mortar a place that has a licensed kitchen so you can properly prep and food. And the VFW is the one I chose because um, it was just not being used the way it should be, and I wanted to help generate business back to the troops and to the people who doesn't take that place for granted. And so I started doing um, Taco Tuesdays there, and for their bingo night. And last Tuesday, I was approached by the Antioch Police Department questioning me about a license that I didn't have through Antioch, even though I have a Illinois state license for my business and in good standing with that. So um, they proceeded to tell me that I couldn't cook without the license of Antioch, and I proceeded to tell them, well, the application was asking for a business identification number that I received from the federal government for my business. Only people I know to give that to is the health department. You know, people who are my distributors that brings me things, or wholesale stores that require it. I don't know what they was intending to use it for, but I know that nobody else in Lake County has asked for this. Um, so it just seemed odd to me. So I refused to do it, you know,
Right.
because I didn't want my business being used for no backdoor tax information or nothing like that. Because once again, I'm a mobile food truck and we go from town to town.
Right.
So from that, we have to pay that sales tax at the end of the year for each town that we for every event we did in that town. So by giving somebody my EIN number is so they can claim that I'm a business in their town or anything would really mess up my taxes, you know. So I refused to give it to them, and I explained, look, this is my commissary. I don't know why they sent you here. Um, I'm allowed to cook here, and I don't know why I would need a license to do it if the VFW has one.
Right. Because you're under their umbrella.
Right. So I figured that's what the whole commissary agreement was that the health department made me get with them.
Right.
So they were real nice about it. You know, they went inside, they talked to the people who runs it, and they told them, yeah, we have an agreement. And they were real polite about it. I gave them some tacos and they left. Well, the next day, the people that runs the VFW called me. It's like, hey, the police are back here asking questions like you did something wrong. So it started to make me look bad and it pissed me off. And I didn't like it in the first place, the fact that they had sent police to something that didn't need a police presence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's how lives are being taken lately. You know what I'm saying? So I have my kids with me when I do events, you know, so
Right.
I just don't want them to even live in fear that even if they're doing right, that they still got the chance to be harassed and stuff like that. So um I went to the health department and I got a copy of the commissary agreement. I explained what was going on. He seemed like he didn't understand it. He told me he don't know why it's happening. And so I had proceeded to call Chuck and tell him what was going on. And he helped, he put me in contact with you. So from there, I I had to go get a permit for a farmer's market that's in Antioch. So they refused to give me a permit because they were doing an investigation basically on the comments to VFW and why I was cooking there on Tuesdays without a permit or whatever was going on and why the police were being there. So I don't know who called them. I don't know who told them. But I left there and a hunch just told me, man, just go to the VFW you know what I'm saying, and see what's going on, see if they
Right.
heard anything. So as I pull up to the VFW, I see two Lake County Health Department cars, and I knew from there what it was. So I walk in, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you here." I was like, "Why wouldn't you? It's my commissary. It's Tuesday, you know." So he's like, "Well, you can't do it. Why can't I? It's my commissary. Why can't I cook it? Because you can't sell food." And so he was told me that I can't cook outside, even though it's still on my commissary property. That I'm not allowed to cook outside on my grills, and I'm not allowed to serve outside of the commissary or outside of the VFW unless I go pay for another permit specifically for that, which makes no sense to me. But um, he said that's just how it is, and that's the way it's always been. I can't get a 6 month or a year because of the type of food I cook. And the lady flat out told me that, well, it was designed this way to push food trucks out because nobody really wanted them around here. And I was like, so what does that mean? Because of why? So she says, well, because the brick and mortars um, restaurants uh, don't like it. Basically, they're losing money, which I don't get because they have delivery services. They can have a delivery driver themselves. It's not like, we're just mobile. That's the only
Right.
difference. So
And I don't know about Antioch, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but I don't know about Antioch, but I know like here, there's brick and mortars that have temporary setups, no different than a food truck, other than like a tent and setting up stuff. So
right,
continue.
right. So to me, it's just an excuse to more money. It's more money to have a restaurant than it is to um. It's more money to charge a restaurant than would be to charge a food truck. So they look for every angle to charge a food
Right.
truck. Like we don't pay the highest prices that everybody else pay. We still got to find a distributor. We still got to do everything a restaurant does. We just don't own a building, but our truck pays for how long a restaurant probably stays open anyway before the owner actually buys the building.
Right.
So I don't get what the difference is, but she flat out told me, well, that's how it's designed to push food trucks out so the restaurants can prosper more. So, um, with that being said, they told me today that I wouldn't be allowed to set up or cook there until I get a permit from them and until I obtain the license from Antioch.
Okay. And so just to be clear, when they told you that today, so this is a 2-week permit that they want him to get, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But check this out, guys. He can't use the 2 weeks. He's not allowed. He's allowed 2 days out of that 2 weeks. So he has to pay for 2 weeks, but he only gets 2 days out of those 2 weeks. So where's the rest of the money going? So it's just a hunch, but it looks like you're being targeted for multiple reasons.
Yes.
And I think that they're just looking ways to rip people off. And you know what? Honestly, guys, we got enough of that from Pritzker and Kim Fox and Lightfoot and all the other crapazoids in this state. We don't need it from Antioch board members of any kind or the Antioch City. So here's what we're going to do. Chuck and I are starting to put together something. I believe, what is it, July 10th?
July 10th.
July 10th. Okay, so all the things are not in stone yet. But here's what I want you guys to do. Everybody in this state that's a voter that cares about this state, cares about small businesses. And, we had a comment on the flyer that I posted too soon because it needed spell check, but that's okay. Somebody, Jack Spinks, had commented, interesting. Usually a food truck is a proof of concept for a restaurant business. Nothing like a government stomping on entry-level businesses. Seem like government overreach. You're absolutely right. This is definitely overreach, and it's not fair. And he's working just as hard to support his family as a brick and mortar would be. Actually harder because he has to compete with everybody. And, Devin said something to me beforehand before we went live, and he said, I cook real fresh food. Like, I like cooking. I like giving food to people. I don't know about you guys, but I would rather eat fresh food from a food truck than something processed or out of date from a store. Just saying.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's strenuous when it gets to cooking fresh food because then more stipulations come in, and even though I have had nobody sick yet or nothing like that, none of that matters. Just the kind of food I cook, I don't know. I don't know what to say to it. It's fresh. It's like last year when I first started as a pop-up. They didn't want to check my receipts anymore. They got tired of having to check my receipts for every event that my food was fresh from a store the day bought, of that day. So the whole thing came in about, well, if you're not going to go get a commissary, then we're not going to check your receipts anymore and you can't get a permit. But why? If I'm showing you that I just bought this, it ain't your job to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it is.
If you want to cut corners at your job, but be so strenuous about it at the same time, and it doesn't make sense.
Well, like you said, they're trying to push you out. And like I was speaking about a minute ago, on July 10th, we're going to put together something in Antioch. It's going to be an all-day family event. We're going to have kids' activities. We don't have anything concrete yet. We're working on it. Details we'll presume. But we invite you guys to Antioch, Illinois on July 10th. We're going to have some of this man's food.
Yeah,
and we're going to support and we're going to support him one way or the other.
Promise you won't be disappointed. And I built my truck myself from the ground up.
Wow, that's awesome. Not many people can say that. I mean,
me and you too.
You got to give it up to anybody who tries to open up their own business because it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And you've got the state pounding at you in every different direction. Pritzker giving you umpteen thousand taxes on top of it. You know how he loves to do this. By the way, I think he just announced he's running for president. So I told you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying.
Really?
He started this. He really is. He's already got his team up, and he's been working on this since he shut down graduation in 2020. So
do they only look at Illinois through Springfield or something?
Springfield is the one that looks through Illinois, yes.
Well, I'm just saying, is that the only thing that they see? Like, because look at Chicago, look at all the surrounding cities of Springfield. It's horrendous. What job did he do?
He didn't.
To think he wants that he should be running for president.
Oh, he wants the power. We all know that.
And,
he was born with a golden spoon in his mouth, and
I know I'm tired of voting the same people who don't give a damn. I know it just annoys me. Me and Chuck had this conversation multiple times. Just having to vote for the best of the two evils. You know what I'm saying? Like, when are we gonna get tired of it?
Hold on a second. My screen might flash. Give me a second. There we go. I don't know if it did or not. It did on my end. So yeah, everybody's tired of it. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because I saw that on Facebook today, and I'm like, oh, big surprise! I knew this in 2020. Yeah, I want Trump to see his name on that list. Oh, I want him to. He'll run just because of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, even with Springfield's a ghost town. Everything is ran through Chicago anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He only cares about Chicago, and he doesn't even care about that. He didn't care about the violence. He cares about control.
Yeah.
And everything south of I-80, he really doesn't care about. And now we've got all of these little other peons that want to try to run stuff like the city and sorry about that. I got a message. I was reading down. I looked down. I'm like, what? And it distracted me.
Pritzker be just as bad as Biden.
I don't even want this poor country. Oh my gosh. But it's people like you, Devin, and Callie. I got the pleasure of speaking with her. I told her to call me because I wanted that one-on-one interaction, and I've always been big on that. I've always been big on going straight to the people. My cell phone was on my business cards. They had a direct contact. That's just the kind of person I am. I believe in voting the person, not the party. And I believe in voting for a patriot that can stand tall and it can't be bought. And there's very few and far in between there. I get a lot of slack. I talked about this before. I get a lot of slack for calling people out. But you know what? The truth is the truth. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Either you want the truth or you don't. Do what?
I said we don't coddle the feelings.
No, I can't do that. It's common sense and critical thinking. That's what matters. We need critical thinkers like Devin as a business owner to be supported. We need, Devin's family. That's how he puts food on his table. That's how he supports his kids. And there's more like it. There's more people out there that are struggling with this. And, people like Chuck and I, we're ready and we don't care. He messaged me, hey, can we do an emergency broadcast? You bet it. Can we go now? I was ready. So he's no.
Just because things are always been this way, it don't mean it needs to continue the same way. And that's just.
Well, it hasn't worked so far. So maybe change.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's to people, it's just like, fuck, you're not going to change nothing. You know what I'm saying? But we need more people to say, like, man, I want to fight too. I want to stand up for something. I want to stand up, even if it doesn't seem like it's benefiting me. It will, because we're the small people. The small people in this world makes the majority. So, we definitely need to find a different way of thinking, because that saying is getting old.
Well, and it's not working. There's a big cliche that I used my entire campaign of 2022 before I wasn't on the ballot. And it was a cliche. It was kind of a cliche thing, I thought, because it's the movie where the Grinch Stole Christmas, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or whatever it's called, the classic Christmas movie. And at the end, when the Grinch steals all the presents, AKA Pritzker, what do? They hold hands and they stand together and they're happy anyway. But they stand together, they rise together, they fall together, and they pick each other up together. And that's what this state has lost. That is what this country has lost. And they've lost critical thinkers. They've replaced critically thinking people with coddlers. And no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
That's, but as far as your business goes, you've got a comment on here I want to flash on here, because I love Veronica Roper. She's an amazing woman. So we're going to show her thing. Good luck, Devin. Hopefully people will get their head out of their asses and understand you're a man doing what you love to do to support your family. Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I try not to cuss, but Oh, okay. Here we go. People are popping on now. Antioch has a food truck festival every 2 weeks. Last week there were 6 trucks. Why do you think they've pushing you out when they're sponsoring the food truck fest?
He wasn't allowed to food truck fest.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed because I wouldn't get their license.
There you go, Deborah. So they're targeting Devin and his food truck.
And
it is very adamantly seen.
The thing that gets me is like, I done talked to the lady who does the festivals, the park district lady that does the festivals at the VFW, and she's tried my food, and I tell her the reason why I won't get it, and nobody will stand up and say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be just quiet and, you gotta let every mayor does his own thing, just passive about it. Like, that still affects me, whether you want to be passive about it, whether you think it's not a right time or opportunity to do it, it's still wrong.
Right, it is. It is wrong. So back to what I was saying earlier, Chuck, we're going to do something July 10th in Antioch, Illinois. We're thinking about having it at the VFW Hall. We will get all details to you guys. We're going to have a big, huge all-day family event. We're going to find a way to get Devin's food out there.
Yes.
We're going to do that. And I am, since Chuck is also my PR guy for 2026, he's going to notify the news stations and radio stations to see if they want to come out for a press conference. I think that would be in their best interest, because if they don't, we're going to go live from here. And one of the channels that I go live off is YouTube. So we can just blast it through Telegram, Truth Social, YouTube, my page, wherever we can share it at. So we need you guys. We need everybody as close to Antioch that you can get to come to Antioch on July 10th. Again, I will release details. So we'll Chuck Erickson from Freedom 515, and Devin will share it.
Yep.
And so will Callie, and we'll get everybody within 10 minutes. We had 10 or 15 shares when I posted up about my live. So I have almost 5,000 people on my page, and they all see my stuff for the most part. So we're going to get a family event going, and we're going to go support Devin and Callie. And I would like everybody to come out there, enjoy Devin's food, try it, bring some cash, because you're supporting a small business. Guys, come on. We have done this since 2020 when they started shutting stuff down. And we're in 2022, so 2 years from now. You want to support a small business? Come support Devin on July 10th. Chuck, is there anything else you want to say?
Actually, there is.
Okay,
I wouldn't normally do this.
Go.
But this is the city that we're fighting. So we'll call them all out.
Go.
Mayor Scott A. Gardner, Trustee Brent Bloothart, Trustee Patrina Berman, Trustee Mary C. Dominic, Trustee Ed Masick, Trustee Mary J. Peterson, and Trustee Scott A. Pierce. You all need to answer for this. This is a small business owner. Our small businesses have suffered enough over the last 2 years. He's a man trying to support his family. He's built it from the ground up, him and his wife. So you all need to answer for this. That's what I've got to say about it.
And we call people out on here. I'm sorry, guys, but we do. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, you're right. That's as simple as that. And these trustee and board members are the ones that are stopping this. So, Chuck, if you can go to the comments on this, put those names on there real quick. On the comment section right there. Is it? Okay, well, just comment. Okay. Just send it to me and I'll post it. So we're gonna post all these names. These names are the people that are stopping this man from supporting his family with a small business owner. Now we do have a question, Devin. So I always pop up questions. So this is your question. It says, Deborah Rentner, is it all about the EIN or is it more than that?
No, it's just the fact that just the side business, the side favoritisms that go on that don't allow us to function as food trucks. Like they didn't have this EIN application thing last year, so it just popped up this year, and every village and town I go to asks for the COI, which is a certificate of insurance, the name of the truck, the food you're going to be serving, and that's it. And if it's a fee, it's a fee. It's not about the money, because it's only $50.
Right.
I smoke, so that's $50 can go quick. So it's not about the money. It's about the fact that what did they need that information for? I didn't want to give them that information, and then look what happened. They sent the police to me. They sent the police back. They harassed me at the VFW. They made threats, and it's just, where is it going to stop? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I continue to operate, they're threatening me with fines and everything else, instead of even trying to sit down and see, hey, we never did this before. Hey, what's going on? How do we do this? What's the other villages doing? You know what I'm saying? Right. But no, it's just a hand in a pot money grab. That's all it is. And for them to stop me, like if they're supporting the troops the way they say they do, then you wouldn't stop me from cooking for them.
Right.
It's not like I'm going all around Antioch, just posting up anywhere I want willy nilly. I'm at the VFW every time I'm out, and it's
Right.
cooking for them. You know what I'm saying? So, and of course, anybody's welcome. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop people from coming. The whole point is to get the VFW back to the way it was, or the
Right.
way it should be. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's where people can actually come interact there and know they'll have food and a good time, and they can bring their families there and play pool or have a
Right.
drink. You know what I'm saying? So the EIN numbers was just what stopped me from dealing with it. You know, and nobody can explain why they needed it. You know, nobody can explain to me why I couldn't even cook at my commissary, and even if I was getting tips or selling food, it was for a good reason and a good cause, not just to
Right.
support my family, but to also support another local business place establishment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was just all of the above. The fact that they was harassing me and everything about it, and saying I had no choice. Well, I don't get the point of having an Illinois state license and a small town license, and I have to pay for these permits. Like, what's the reason?
And I think you explained to me earlier, not every food truck has to do that.
No, they
See,
choose.
That's
They,
the thing, is they choose who they want to harass.
yeah, and they chose to let 2 other food trucks come to their town. 3, a barbecue truck, um, a food and sweets truck, and a dessert truck all came to this thing within a week of them harassing me about a license through them, and that the trucks they hired didn't even have. You know,
So it's not about that you're not willing to go get a license. That's not it.
no,
That's so we need to make this real clear, guys, because Deborah, you said, but if you get a license, you can go anywhere. That's not the point.
no, that's not how it works either.
And
If I
that's
get
not
a
how it
license,
works.
no, that's not how it works. Even if I got their license, I still want to be able to go where I want, post up when I want. I still have to go back and pay more money to be able to do those things. Even if the days are back to back, I still have to I have to pay 2 separate times for both of those days.
Right. And it's a 2-week license that you can only use 2 of the days in.
Yeah.
So here's what Antioch's doing from what I'm understanding. Not only are they targeting this man and his business, they are, hold on, I'll recap in a minute. Someone said, what's this about? Just got on. Hold on, I'll give you a recap. So this isn't just about a license. This isn't about just any food truck business. It's Devin is being targeted because he is, or not because, but he is trying to support the troops, which we all support the military, at least the Republicans do. Sorry. But, he's trying to support the military. He's trying to get back to the VFW. He's complied up until now with everything they've asked. They haven't had a problem with him until now. And the issue is not, they're not doing it across the board, guys. Yeah. So they're not treating everyone the same way. They're not sitting down. Well, here's what Antioch needs to do. We know they're not going to, and I'm going to have check one more time. I'm going to call out those names real quick again. We need those names.
Mayor Scott J. Gardner, Trustee Brent Bloodhart, Trustee Patrina Berman, Trustee Mary Dominic, Trustee Ed Masick, Trustee Mary Peterson, and Trustee Scott Pierce.
Okay, so these guys are not pulling all of the businesses together, saying all the food trucks together, saying, okay, look, this is new, guys, so we have some new rules we have to abide by for whatever reason. This is how we get through this. They're not trying with him. They're not giving him any kind of leadway to where he can make this right. And then what they do want him to do, they're not doing across the board. So how are you going to tell Devin that he has to pay this, this, and this, but the next 6 trucks don't have to pay that third one or the second one or whatever? How are you going to pick and choose? So to those board members, the mayor of Antioch, I will call you out myself. You have to treat people fairly and across the board. They are a small business, just like a brick and mortar. And if you want to say, well, they're taking businesses away from brick and mortars, no, they're not. Brick and mortars are having to raise their prices because of the inflation that's going on all around the place. They don't have a choice, but they're not taking any business away because it's a completely different realm of food. You're not understanding. I've been to a food truck. I know how it is. So it's not the same. Okay, so we have a couple questions. So Stephen Morgan, what's this about? Just got on. Basically, the city of Antioch is harassing, and those board members and trustees that Chuck had called out and gave by name, they are harassing him. They are not treating him fairly. They are expecting things out of him with, yes, he has a food truck. They're expecting things out of him that they're not expecting from other food trucks in Antioch. So it's not across the board. It's pick and choose your favorite of who you want to mess with. Sounds like politics to me, because they do that. As everybody knows, a friend of mine, Kathy O'Shea, is running. It's a little bit of a side run, but she's not getting the coverage because they don't like her. But she's still a good candidate. Actually, she's the best candidate for the job. So this is the pick and choose that's going on. And now it's dwindling down to food trucks. It's going above people who are running. It's going down to the people of the state. It's going into Antioch, Illinois. And now it's affecting Devin. Okay, Steve, you're going to have to recap on the video. I can't recap everything, just replay if you don't mind, just because we're already in 37 minutes, which is fine. I set this evening aside, but just recap and rewatch. And then if you have any questions, feel free to comment. It's just easier like that, sweetie. So guys, this is not fair. So we are stepping up as voters, and because right now that's all I am. I'm not a candidate until 2026 now. So I am a voter. So Chuck and I are going to team together with Devin and Callie, and I wish Callie was here yet, but so people can meet her. But that's okay. Okay. Well, we're going to hang tight until Callie can at least say hi, because she's a lovely lady. I talked to her, and these people are very appreciative. They did not ask for help. They got it, because my PR guy is beast. That's all I got to say. He's on everything, every step of the way. And he was on this, notified me, and we're going to go support them. So if you are on around Antioch, Illinois, I keep wanting to say Antioch County, Antioch, Illinois, July 10th, again, we're going to put up something. We're going to have an all-a-day event. We're going to figure this out. Whatever we can do, whatever we have to do. If we got to do it on private property, we'll do it. I did it in the graduation of May of 2020, and I'll do it again. They are not shutting this down. They are not taking it away from this man, and we're going to go over there and fight. Now, I have scheduled, Chuck is working on it. I'm scheduling a press conference on that day. Whether or not the news shows up, if they don't, we'll go live. So either way, you're going to hear about it. And so, Devin, while we're waiting on Callie for a minute, do you have anything else to say? Or if anybody else has any questions, if you want to pop up for Devin, if you have a question for him, feel free to ask. I'll put it on the screen. He can answer it, or from Chuck, either one. We will answer it. So, Devin, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I don't like the fact that they use police for everything. Like that wasn't a non-police situation that could have got heated and escalated out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like over something so petty. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Their whole idea, their whole concept of, like, I had on the post that we posted the other day, there was a lady that's from Oakwood Knows that said that they voted on this because the businesses didn't like food trucks in the town. People didn't like food trucks in the town. So they put these rules in place to push people out that have food trucks. My whole thing is, how you going to be mad at my idea and my passion? How you going to discriminate against what I do because I didn't choose a restaurant over a food truck, or ice cream over popsicles? It just don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody chooses their own route in life. I didn't force nobody to get a restaurant, and just as well they ain't forced me to get a food truck. But I have one, and I operate within the rules and the laws of owning a food truck, and yet I'm still targeted for doing just that. Because if it's not one thing, it's another. You know, the reason I couldn't do my pop-up tent no more as a vendor is because I didn't have a commissary. I got the commissary. Oh, now you can't cook at your commissary. Now you got to do this. Okay, once you do that, then you got to do this. It's just more money, more rules for what? For the same outcome. I can't cook on my truck because this fire suppression system. Now, the fire suppression system has a pipe from the fire extinguisher to 2 nozzles, and they spray the fire out on the grill. Now, I have a flat top, so the fire comes from under it. Now, either you got to be dumb, obviously, you got to be dumb, or you just got to not know what you're doing in order for you to catch a griddle on fire. You know, I'm not doing chef flame broiled things on a griddle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get why I have to have this instead of just a fire extinguisher. Because when you have this, you have to still manually turn off your gas. Then you got to manually cut on this suppression system. It doesn't come on by itself. And by that time, I could have just grabbed the fire extinguisher and put the fire out. But no, I would have to go outside the truck to turn off the valve to the gas. And it's just, my truck will be burnt up by then. But it's another way for them to get a part of it. Because not only do I have to pay for this fire suppression system, I got to also cough up $500 to the local city to do an inspection. Then I got to cough up some more money for the permits for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's 20 grand into a truck before you even get started. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference between having a mobile food truck and a restaurant?
Right.
My hood system is the same one that's in a restaurant. My grill is the same one that's in a restaurant. You know, so what's really the difference? But they still have to go through less permits and everything than we do. And a brick and mortar is way bigger than a food truck. My food trailer is 5x11. Here it is right here. 5x11. It ain't big at all.
There we go.
It's not big at all. So why do I have to pay more in taxes, more in everything with a restaurant that can seat 50 tables and with a huge parking lot in the building? He pays for gas. Okay. I pay for gas too. I got to buy propane. Propane ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I don't know. It's just, it don't make sense to me why I got to get the short end of the stick just for doing what I love to do. I ain't hurt nobody. I'm legit. I'm licensed. I got my certifications from for my food handlers. I got everything I needed to.
Mm-hmm. So you followed the rules, and they still want more.
Yep.
And the problem with them wanting more, it would be fine, I think, with you if it was across the board.
Yeah.
If they held a town meeting and said, hey, which they're holding one, right, Chuck? When?
June 22nd.
Okay. And Chuck is going to that, right?
I will be there.
Okay. He's going to be there to represent and stand up for Devin and Callie. And are you going to be there, Devin?
I have an event that day that I committed to.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
I'll be in Decatur, Illinois.
Okay. Well, but Chuck will be there addressing the board members. I don't know if you can take someone with you, and are you allowed to go? Are you allowed to film it or no?
I don't know. I'd have to find out.
Okay. But either way, he's going to be there addressing the board members about this, asking questions, trying to find out answers. But the bottom line is, guys, is Devin's trying to make a living for his family, and he can't because they're targeting him. They're not being fair across the board. They're not, like I said, it would be different if they held a board meeting and said, okay, look, if you own a food truck, you need to come by because we have new regulations that you need to meet. That would be different if it was across the board, but it's not. And so it's favoritism, and that's not fair. So, well, we're still waiting on Callie. I don't know how close she is, but
She should be pulling in any minute now. Like I said,
okay.
we're not that far from Kenosha, so
Okay. But yeah, it's bottom line is, these board members and trustee members need to answer for themselves and answer for their actions. They need to be held accountable. Accountability is big with me. When I ran for office, it's big with the people of Illinois. It's there. That's one thing that no official, whether it be a trustee, board member, governor, mayor, doesn't have accountability. And there's no one to answer for their mishaps that they create.
yeah.
So, I must have spelled emergency wrong. I don't know. Someone typed emergency. So unless I put emergency broadcasting, I was typing fast. So, but anyway, it's sad. It is. And it breaks my heart that you're having to go through this, Devin, you and Callie. And, just know that we stand behind you. My voters support small businesses. They support food trucks. They support the common man trying to feed his family or a woman trying to feed their family. And, we have to work 3 times as hard now because of all the regulations and stipulations that our lovely governor wants to put on us. So we already have enough to fight over. We don't need to be fighting over this. This is stupid. This is a man trying to support his family. That's all this is. And I'm pretty sure, and I'm not trying to speak for you, Devin, but like I said, if it was across the board, you probably wouldn't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
And if you weren't targeted, hey, it is what it is. This doesn't make any sense. But if this is how it is and everybody has to operate under these guidelines, then fine. This is what we have to do to continue and make that work. But it's not like that. He's being targeted. And that's the problem here, guys. You can't have people that, you can't pick and choose who you want to operate a food truck in Antioch because you don't like them or you have issues with them personally. Sending to the police was, although I support the police and I know Devin does too, as well as Charles, but you can't, that was complete overreach. There was no reason for that. They have better things to do other than trying to deal with a license for a business. They have crimes that are committing murders every single day in Chicago. And everywhere they've got more to deal with on their hands than this. So I'm pretty sure they didn't like going out there, but unfortunately they get the call, they have to go. I understand that.
Most definitely.
But, and we respect them. But,
yeah, they were respectful. They didn't, not say nothing happened. I know I said it could have went south, but yeah, that's just theoretically. But they're definitely respectful and they were kind. They didn't raise their voice at me. You know what I'm saying? None of that stuff. So yeah, it was no knock against them. And I told
absolutely
them that
not.
it was just against the village of Antioch and how they're trying to dictate everything. That's just absurd.
Well, like I said, when it's not across the board, it shouldn't be done. If you can't do it for everybody, then if the rules are not the same for every food truck driver, then it shouldn't be done.
Yeah, and I should have the right. I do have the right to know what you're using my EIN number for. You know what I'm saying?
And that was just a question. What do you need this for? They could have answered you. They could have said, "This is why we need this."
But they couldn't answer me. They're like, "Oh, it's just something we have on there. Why? Oh, we're not going to use it. We just want to verify that you're a legit business." Well, isn't that what the Lake County Health Department thing is for? Isn't that what for my LLC is for? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's plenty other ways you can.
And they can look it up. It's public information.
That was another thing that was just sneaky to me. It didn't sit right with me because it's so many other ways you could have verified that I was a legit business than my EIN number. You know what I'm saying? And if you're really not willing to be honest about that, then you just got something to hide.
And in all honesty, if they didn't think you had an EIN number, they can look it up.
Yeah.
That's public information. You can look up businesses EIN number. You can Google that.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I've done it before. I've seen plenty of businesses have an EIN number and I go to look them up and sure enough, there it is. It's public record. So there's no reason for that. None. Again, he's being targeted by Antioch, the city of Antioch, and those board members, those trustees that Chuck listed. He's going to send me a copy of them. We're going to make sure they're in the comments. If you feel the need and you want to stand up for Devin, contact them. Express your concern, especially if you're in Antioch. You know, that's your town, guys. That's your home. And it shouldn't be that way. It should not be pick and choose who do we let go without this or that, you know, without this permit or that permit. It should be everybody. So I totally agree. Well, we're running on an hour, so I guess we're going to miss Miss Callie today,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Tell her we said hey, and we support her.
Definitely.
And I'm going to wrap it up unless you guys have anything else to say. Do either one of you want to speak some more?
Me personally, if you want to speak your mind, the phone number to the Village Hall is 847-395-1000.
Can you repeat it?
847-395-1000.
Okay, guys, and we'll put that on the comments as well. He'll send that to me as well. So if you want to speak your mind and say something, stand up for this man's business and this man's family, feel free to do so. So I appreciate you guys coming on. It's been a great show. I'm glad that Chuck got a hold of me. And we're going to continue this. We're going to have a family day on July 10th. We're going to get the details up and running as fast as we can. Chuck does work a full-time job, so we got to bear with him a little bit. He's got a family that he's got to attend to, just like the rest of us. So we got to bear with it, but we will get details up. We will get it out, and we will be ready to rock and roll. We're looking at DJs. We're looking at kids' activities, maybe some face painting or something somewhere. We might have to look for a private location if they're going to be this strict. So we'll figure it out. But Antioch, here we come. You guys have a blessed day, and I will kick back. And if I need to get back on air for something else or something else goes awry, which happens every day in Illinois, so I will continue. I'm going to start my Monday night broadcast back again at 7 o'clock. It hadn't been in a while. So Citizen Watch, where your voice matters. Let's bless Devin and Callie and their business and hope that they're successful and can get past this hurdle with our help. And we are there to support them and everybody else that has a small business, not just Devin and Callie, everybody. Everybody deserves the same amount of support, especially businesses that want to give back to our vets. Come on, guys. You know better. In Antioch, I'm ashamed of you. I really am. You've already let me down once for something else, and now this is twice. We really don't need a strike 3. So God bless. Have a good night, and we'll catch you later.